So yeah, Cam Brink has not been good this year. So far in the regular season and preseason, she has had significantly more fouls than points, and she has also had more turnovers than points. She has had more fouls and turnovers than every positive stat combined. And clearly, the LA Sparks are not prioritizing her. People thought they were not going to bring back Azare because they were going to need to start Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink is a player currently very out of rhythm. Like, extremely out of rhythm. There's no way. There's no other way to describe it. She is extremely, extremely out of rhythm. That being said, she's not doing herself any favors by not playing well when she's getting in. And she currently has a very, very short leash with a team that's trying to win now, despite not being very good. Like, the Sparks are like a 7-8 seed. The Sparks and the Sky are in a very similar... I think they're about really similar teams. Where they're like... Most of the team are over 30 years old. And they're trying to go at it with vets one last time. And that's kind of what the Sparks are trying to do. So if Cam Brink continues to be poor, you're not going to get a chance. However, obviously, if she is on the trade market, she's a target for a lot of teams. What do I think teams are going to be willing to give up? I think her going rate is going to be a late first round pick. I don't think if you're the Fire, a lot of people are talking about tanking teams. I don't think if you're the Fire, I don't think if you're the Mystics, I don't think if you're any of these teams, you're willing to give up a near lottery pick for Cameron Brink. I don't think you are. In hindsight, in a 2020 redraft, based on what we know now, obviously everybody knows of the crazy, crazy potential of Cameron Brink at the time. Cameron Brink going 2 at the time made perfect sense. We're not going to pretend that Caitlin Clark wasn't number 1 in that draft, but there were talks. If you look at a lot of people's bold predictions for the 2024 WNBA draft, most of the bold predictions were saying that Caitlin Clark won't be the best player in the draft. It's going to be Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink was a player that came in their second WNBA game and swatted Angel Wilson 5 times. Like, it is like Cam Brink pre-ACL tear was one of the most hyped young players in the league, and for good reason. She was the best shot blocker in the league the second she set foot in the league, and she had a fouling problem. But since her ACL tear, all the positive aspects of her game has gotten worse, and the foul or have not regressed or gotten worse, and the fouling's gotten worse too. But a team that I still think should be in the running for Cameron Brink is the Fever. Do I think they're going to do it? No. But do I think the Indiana Fever and Cam Brink will be a mutually beneficial combination? Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. I think that's a mutually beneficial combination. Because if we're being real here, when it comes to Cam Brink, when it comes to the Fever, Cam Brink is not a center. On the defensive end, on the offensive end, she's a perimeter player. She is a weak side shot blocker. You have Aaliyah Boston, who can guard the other team's players. She is a weak side shot blocker more than she's a defender. So, for example, you're playing against the Wings. If you have Aaliyah Boston on Jess Shepard, Cam Brink then gets to guard Lana Smith. If you're playing the Aces, Aaliyah guards Asia, and Cam Brink is that sweeper on the defensive end. She's playing that sweeper role. She's going to be in there blocking shots. It would really benefit her. The going rate is probably match salaries and either a first or KK if you're the Fever. That's probably what you're looking at. And for anyone saying, oh, you wouldn't give up KK for Cameron Brink, you are crazy. Cameron Brink is way better than KK Timpson. I love KK's development. Cameron Brink is so much better than KK. Like, especially for what the Fever need. which is a lot of defense, a lot of shot blocking, and you add the best shot blocker in the league, and also spacing for Cam Brink. Cameron Brink is no doubt about it better than KK Timpson, but that's about the going rate. So it is KK and match salary. So what you would have to do is you would have to probably put Ty Harris into that trade, and take back a minimum. So there's a way of making that trade work, and maybe you throw in a third round pick as well. But that's about the going rate. I think KK's going rate is a late first round pick. As in KK was the 19th pick in the draft. Late first round pick's now 15. I think that's kind of her going rate. So I think that's about Cam Brink's going rate. Is a late first. Because again, you're going to have to pay her in a year or two. And even if she stinks, you're going to have to pay her a lot of money. See a team willing to pay her or willing to let her walk in 2 years, which I think the Fever will be. Willing to let her walk in 2 years. I don't think they'll pay her. So yeah, look, for me, this is one of those things where I'm going to be real. Cam Brink is a ideal fit beside Leah Boston because Leah Boston masks a lot of Cam Brink's weaknesses. On the defensive end, she masks some of the fouling. I mean, she doesn't have to try guard the other team's best bigs, and she's a good offensive rebounder. She's a good shooter. She can spot up from three. She can spot up in the corner. She can be a spacer. She can be a power forward on offense and a rim protector on defense. And she also, on the defensive end, does make up for some of the shortcomings of Caitlin Clark getting burned too easily. And it means that you don't have to help one pass away. It means you don't have to do what the Fever have been trying to do and help one pass away. You don't have to run that bullshit defense that they run, and they're trying to switch everything and scramble because they don't have the personnel to do anything else. Having Cam Brink in the team helps with that. Even if Cam Brink's foul trouble means she plays 22 minutes a game. Even if she plays 22 a game, you're okay with that. You're okay. You are okay with that. Again, I don't know how they can make the salaries work, but if you can make the salaries work, play like a KK Timpson, even if you add Ty Harris, but they won't do it because Ty Harris is from Indiana. They're not going to trade a Ty Harris. I do feel like the LA Sparks will move on from Cam Brink at the right price. They've already moved on from Rakia Jackson for Ariel Atkins. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn when it comes down to it with this team about individuals. They just want to win. That's all that matters. They want to win, and Cam Brink right now is not playing good enough basketball to see the floor. I'm going to be very clear here. Cam Brink is not playing good enough basketball right now for the LA Sparks to see the floor. And I do think she needs new scenery. There's no doubt about it. She needs to go somewhere else. And I feel like the Fever will be a perfect fit. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. See you guys.